You delivered one of the most important moments on Bravo last year when you kind of sat everybody down and you and Sarah sort of talked to everybody about what it's like being Black in the Hamptons. And first thing I thought is her mama has to be so proud of her, because
And first, I'm proud of you texts I got from my mom. I will say that. So yes.
yes. I mean, I got kids in their 20s, so I would have been like, oh. But I mean, it was such a positive moment. It was such a moment of bonding. Do you think when you talked to everybody, there was a big shift in the house, or did it not sink in?
No, I think that honestly, the awareness was everything we needed. So for people to then realize, hey, when we're having all these strangers in our house, maybe we should be checking in on our housemates. And that's exactly what happened. I saw a full 180 from, I would say, 90% of the castmates after that conversation.
Wow. Wow. And did you expect it to kind of go like that, or?
My God, no, I didn't even want to have it because it's so easy to be like, oh, she's pulling the race card, or like, she's not fitting in, so she wants to make it about race. That wasn't what it was about. And it also wasn't to alienate or to target anyone. And that's what I was most worried about having the conversation with Andrea that I did. I didn't want that group conversation to feel like it was a gang up on him, or that he's so much of a trigger for me that this is why we're having this. And so that was really important to convey in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that he immediately he liked went on. I mean, he's a sweetheart anyway.
Really is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you were new last season, and I know you really spoke about, you weren't out there, on tables with a lampshade on your head. You're a little bit more reserved.
You'll probably never see that.
Yeah, right. But you and Kyle are like two opposites. So
yeah,
that was the thing. It wasn't like you were just like, you're my best friend to everybody. It took you some time to get to know people.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you'll probably see it a little bit more this season, especially with Gabby, because she's like ready to be best friends. And I tell her straight up, like, I don't consider people friends until I consider them friends. So I'm happy to work up to that, but I can't give you that immediately. And I think, although it can come off harsh, my transparency has really worked in my favor.
Yeah. So are you and Gabby going to have a few misunderstandings, do you think?
No.
Or? Oh, okay.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Because I think my heart broke a little bit for you in the beginning with Carl, because he was your buddy. Like, you guys would hang out and like have snacks and
yeah.
What happened?
What happened is what you saw. What you see me saying in the confessional is what happened. That is the reality of the situation. I don't have a relationship with Carl anymore, and that's okay. But no, he's no longer a buddy.
Yeah, because I saw he had mentioned something about the text. The "we" text was weird or something.
Yeah. No, I saw that too. I mean, if that's the case, then I have a lot of weird texts from Carl too.
Okay. So you guys, was it really just after Family Feud suddenly you had no friendship, or was it already sort of dwindling before that?
No, it wasn't dwindling. I wouldn't say that we were the best of friends. We weren't hanging out weekly, but we did keep in contact and check up. Like, I wished him happy 1 year sobriety, things like that, So I think that we did have a relationship. But he's in a relationship now, and that's his focus.
Yeah. I mean, when I talked to Kyle, it seemed that the big factor is the Lindsay factor in the change. And were you a little shocked at the comments Kyle made about Carl at dinner on the last episode about being, the coked out stuff and all that?
Well, okay, so I think that everyone's calling this like as if it's a very big situation because we're talking about cocaine. And let's just be honest, last season, Carl spoke about his cocaine habits. So this is not Kyle didn't, blow the whistle and let everyone know Carl's substance of choice. That wasn't what it was. And I think a lot of people are reading into that. Would I have necessarily shared that information? Probably not. But Kyle was not talking to the group. He wasn't talking to the table. He was talking to me. And so I think that I hope that he's comfortable speaking to me, and he was able to really give me the root of what he was feeling. So I think that's all it was. I don't think it's that deep.
Okay. Because I think some of the, I'm sure you've seen it, some of the chatter was like, he's going after Carl's sobriety, Carl's
Yeah,
trying.
I mean, I think that's a very easy thing. Sobriety is a huge buzzword. I've been accused of going after Carl's sobriety after the weed situation, which is like literally the furthest thing from the truth. So, yeah, when you have big buzzwords and you want to use them against people, sure, but that's not what it is. Kyle spoke from his experience. It is polarizing, and I get that. Like, I understand the reaction, but I don't think it was as malicious as people are making it out to be.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, I didn't really see much resolution between you and Lindsay either. I know you guys tried to kind of talk, but how does that leave you then this season? Because it feels very awkward now.
I think you'll see actually we do get along pretty well this summer. I do try to be fair and to hear her side of things and their side of things, which ends up being pretty much the height of almost every single conflict that we have this summer. So I do reach out and try to extend an olive branch in that way. But I think we're different people, and we look at friendship differently, we look at relationships differently, and that's kind of coming to light now. So I don't know where we are.
Okay. All right. Because I know then Danielle comes in, and does that did you get close with Danielle? Because it seems like the group sort of splits a little bit.
So the thing is, like, I always had a good relationship with Danielle. After last summer or season 6 summer, we had a good relationship. We still hung out. We still went to drinks and had dinner and stuff. So my relationship with Danielle didn't change for me. I think the biggest thing was navigating the Sierra Danielle feud. But that was far easier than I ever anticipated it being. So I don't think it's about sides necessarily. It's just like who jives with who.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. And was there anybody that you found because I know last season was really Carl, but this season, did you find yourself getting closer to any particular person in the house?
I mean, my relationships with the girls that I was close with the first season definitely deepened and developed. I'm still very close with Sierra and Paige and Amanda. I think this season so far, you've seen a lot more of my relationship with Kyle, which I did have last season as well, but that is another one of my buddies. And so I think it's been cool actually to like watch the craziness that goes down with the two of us. But yeah, as expected, I think that even with the new people I would say the strongest connection with Chris. We just found ourselves chatting in the corner quite frequently about God knows what. And he was just like so easy and cool.
Yeah. Would you say that sort of like your early bond with Kyle was sort of over both of you sort of being, I don't know. No, it wasn't the Carl and Lindsay thing.
No, because Kyle and I were cool before the Lindsay and Carl thing.
Yeah.
So that wasn't like, let's conspire and come together because we're in this situation and we're on the outs with them. No, honestly, that was like maybe 2% of what we ever talked about. Kyle keeps things light and fun. And that's what to me makes him so fun to be around. And that's what I expected from him. And that's what I got from him.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he is party central. Okay. That makes sense. That does make sense. I gotta ask you about Oliver. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's get it.
Yes, I think what broke my heart the most about this is that you don't dive into relationships quickly. Like you wade in.
Oh yeah, I'm very cautious. I take my time.
Yes. So I think everyone was really rooting for you guys, and we were.
I was rooting for us too.
No, I know. Can you share what happened? I know you said he's blocked, so I'm sure it wasn't a fun breakup.
I think Oliver presented himself as one way and he was another. And I just came off of saying I'm the victim of that, but I'm not a victim. So I'm just collateral damage, if you will. And I bought the dream that he sold.
Okay. So he told you things that weren't necessarily.
His words didn't match his actions.
Okay. And when did you come to that realization?
We broke up in September. So as soon as I started to really become wise to things, it was over. I don't really waste time in that regard.
Okay, because he was in another house, right, in the Hamptons last
Correct.
summer.
Yeah, he lived in a house in Montauk, so he was there, I think, for the first 2 months of the summers, which allowed him to come to our house quite often.
Okay, okay. And was there any event that sort of got you to go, oh, wait a second, things aren't what they
I
should be?
wouldn't say there was one event, but I think that the more truth you learn about somebody, you can decide to roll with it or leave it, and I left it.
Was it like other people?
Hmm.
Oh, not good. Okay. So that sucks because, like I said, you're not a gal who's going to give every guy a chance. How has that affected you then for like going back out to dating?
Well, I haven't really been out there like that. I'm still definitely dealing with the breakup. And you know, it's it's great to tell yourself, okay, well, that wasn't meant to be, and it wasn't like that wasn't the right fit for me, whatever the case may be. However, it's really difficult. Like, yes, it's on TV, but this was a very real relationship that I had real feelings about. And so I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah, yeah. Well, good for you though that you walked away and
I mean, I wouldn't respect myself if I didn't.
I know. Well, not every woman would. So that's, that is good. Before I let you go, what can you sort of tease? I mean, the whole season is like sort of blowing my mind a little bit, but what can you tease about your journey in particular this season?
Um, that's the thing. Like, I don't really, I feel like everyone has already seen the craziness of it all. I think that it's going to become much more subdued for me for the rest of the season. I do develop a level of understanding with Lindsay as the season progresses and trying to understand why she's the way she is and why she says the things she says. So I think that that's something that's a little bit unexpected. And then hopefully, like, the relationship that you see us having fun. Like, we really do have a lot of fun, like in our what ends up being our bedroom towards the very end, because as you know, we're swapping through rooms as we go. But we end up in the blue room, which was Carl's old room, and we put the beds together and we make one giant bed. There's a point where it's like me, Sierra, Paige, Danielle, Sam in one bed, and that's like one of my all-time favorite memories of the summer. So I think focusing on the light stuff, the fun stuff, because we really do have a lot of fun.
Yeah, giant sleepover. That sounds like
Yeah.
a blast. What about Kyle's? Do you guys have like a big blowout for his 40th too?
We have a great party for his 40th, a nice hoedown. And that's when you'll get to see some of our old house members come by. Luke will be there. Maybe Andrea's not there, but he does come by this summer. It's just a lot of fun. We have a live band. I hope they show that pretty much every cast member gets up there on the stage and tries to sing a song at one point. I'm not one of them. But it's just a lot of fun. That was a really fun party.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I think I'd asked Danielle once about like the expense you guys go to like throw these parties, and I was like, "Oh my, this is epic."
We work hard to deliver those parties. We really do.
Yes, you do. Well, the season is already just incredible. I just got my screener and I was like, oh, I wanted to watch it before I talked to her.
Send it to me.
But yeah, I guess I still have to wait till Monday. But I'm glad that, we sort of got to clear up a few things too about what, some of the chatter.
Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty intense out there. And
Chatter is very loud this season. Very, very loud.
You're a big part of it too.
I've never thought that I'd be involved this much, but yes, I'm getting death threats now, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. We are that die hard about the summer house that you want me to die.
Well, that means that you're a big Bravo celebrity now that you're.
It also means I'm doing something right, right?
You are. Just send them to the FBI though, mine, okay?